Okay, well, this is the Virginia Coal and Energy Board meeting, and I'll call the meeting to order. We're in, pardon?
Said coal and energy.
Oh, gas and oil board. Sorry, strike that. As Mark says, strike that. We are in Big Stone Gap at the Virginia Energy's offices. And to begin with, I would like to remind everybody these are being recorded, so we'd ask everyone to silence or turn off their cell phone. And I would ask the board to introduce himself on the record.
Patrick Owens,
Public member.
public member.
Bill Harris, public member.
Donnie Ratliff, representing Coal.
Gus Jansen, public member.
Mary Gibson, public member.
Willie Cochran, Virginia Energy.
Very good.
Bruce Prather, representing oil and gas industry.
Thank you, Mr. Prather. The first item on the agenda is the board will readopt its virtual and remote participation meeting policies as required by code. And I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
We have a motion. We have a second. Ms. Gilmer, you want to poll the board, please?
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff,
Yes.
Mr. Jansen,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
Yes.
Mr. Cochran,
Yes.
and Mr. Prather.
Yes.
Thank you. Now the board will review and approve remote attendance resolution for members that are not at the meeting and participating remotely due to the mileage and health issues. And we have Mr. Prather. So I would ask for a motion to allow Mr. Prather to participate in the meeting.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
And we have a second.
Second.
And all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And the board will now receive any public comments, and I don't see anybody, and I didn't see anyone on the sign-up sheet. So, Ms. Manning, you're up with the First Bank and Trust escrow agent for the board, and you are prepared to give us our April to June 24 report.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
This is our report for the second quarter for 2024. We started out April the 1st with $4,984,983.12. For the quarter, we had deposits of $23,273.06. Interest earned for the quarter, this is money market interest and Cedars interest. We had $24,839.07. Fees deducted from the account were $4,965.62. Distributions for the quarter, $75,277.71, leaving us an ending balance on June the 30th, $4,952,851.92. So far in 2024, we've processed 24 dockets for a total of $309,506.54. We have processed over 300 checks so far this year, and they range from 6 cents to $72,000. 239 of those checks were issued for less than $1. On page 5, we start out with our outstanding checklist, and this is as of June 30th, so these are the checks that have not been cashed that have been issued up until June 30th. There's several pages of those, and they go through page 38. So the dollar amount is not high. We only have $16,124.40 outstanding. Check escheatment for 2024, which will happen in a few months, starts on page 39. And these are checks that are 5 years old now. Again, the dollar amount is not big, but we do have a lot of checks. It's a little under $6,000, $5,979.56. starting on page 45. This is our balance sheet. This is the funded units, individually listed by account number, unit name, docket number, operator, the beginning balance as of June the 1st, anything we received deposit-wise for June, interest, money market, and CDARS, fees that were deducted individually per account, any distributions for June, transfers to the no W-9 list, and the ending balance as of the end of June. And then at the far right, we have a status of the wells column. So that gives each individual unit their status. And that's several pages of the report as well. So that goes through page 52. Page 53 starts our list of no W-9s. So these are the people that have been submitted on dockets that have not submitted their W-9 to First Bank and Trust, the gas company. And there's a bunch of those people. There's 434 lines on that spreadsheet for a total of a little over $41,000. Page 64 is our annual distributions since First Bank and Trust became the escrow agent in 2010. This lists the royalty and working income and any distributions and then the net between the two. Page 65 is the investment of funds as of June 30th. And those CDs are maturing this month. And with the last board meeting, at $2 million. Page 66 is the rate comparisons. And there's not a whole lot of change with this since the last meeting was last month. So we only have a month difference in the rates. So not a tremendous amount of difference. And then the last page of the report is the ranges for the CDs that we have. So we have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 2 years.
Any questions for Ms. Manning?
And last month, we decided, I know we rolled over some CDs and we should be good where we are.
So the
Or do we
CDs
need
that
to-
you decided last month were maturing this month.
Okay, and
So when those mature this month, then we'll purchase another CD in that place for another year.
made that decision last month, is that correct? Or was that
Yes.
Yes.
to be made this month? If I remember correctly, we rolled them over. Or not rolled them over, we made the decision to purchase.
Any other questions for Ms. Manning? We really, really, really appreciate all your efforts and due diligence and the time you spend on this for us.
Thank you all. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is a petition from Key Rock Energy, and I understand that one's going to be heard next month. So do we need a motion to put that on the docket for next month? It's continued to next month. So the board acts on a motion to continue docket item number 5 for Key Rock Energy. It's VGOB 24-0416-4281.
Mr. Chairman, was that a request from them to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and make that motion that we move that item to, what's the correct language?
August.
August. Okay, we hold that till, we move that forward till August. That item, do you want to read the item number? You want me to read it?
I did.
Oh, okay, sorry. We'll move that till August docket.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Ms. Gilmer, will you poll the board, please?
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff,
Yes.
Mr. Jansen,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
yes,
Mr. Cochran,
Yes.
and Mr. Prather.
yes,
Thank you. That will be done. Next item on the agenda is petition from Pocahontas Gas LLC for repooling the Oakwood Coalbed Methane Gas Fields, Unit BB 34, docket numbers VGOB 03-0715-1161-01. Mr. Schwartz, are you there?
Yes, I am. Mark Swartz and Kelly Berry.
You may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Kelly, could you state your name for us, please?
I think I need to be sworn in.
Okay, good idea.
Ms. Berry, you swear to
Yes.
affirm testimony is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may proceed, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank you, sir. Kelly, would you state your name for us again, please?
Kelly Berry,
Okay, and who do you work for?
Pocahontas Gas LLC.
And what do you do for them?
I am a senior analyst of division orders and pooling.
Okay. And are you here this morning on behalf of Pocahontas with regard to a repooling of BB 34?
Yes,
This was originally pooled, it looks like in 2003.
yes,
And at that time, it was pooled as an Oakwood 1 frac unit.
yes, it was.
Okay, and we're here to repool the unit to provide for production from a panel unit.
That's correct.
And that would be under the Oakwood Coalbed Methane Gas Field 2 rules.
Yes,
Okay. The applicant has already been set by the prior board order as Pocahontas, so we don't need to deal with that. You've noticed or you've indicated that we have two respondents here at page 1. Who are they?
that is Coal Mountain Mining Company and Thomas P. Stillwell.
Do we have a lease from one of them?
Yes, we have a lease with Coal Mountain.
Okay, and is Coal Mountain being added simply because we're creating a non-standard unit?
They're being added
Or-
because there were acreage changes within the unit from the original pooling order.
Okay, and also because we're converting to an Oakwood 2 panel.
Yes,
Okay, and Mr. Stillwell, he needs to be force pooled as he was originally in 2003.
yes.
Okay. Go down here. We've got an estimate of allowable costs in the application in what amount?
That is. Sorry, let me go back here. $2,882,000, $822.74, and that is the allocated total cost for the 3 South panel.
Okay, and then the at page 3 of your the PDF page 3, you've got a notice of hearing. How did you notify people we were going to be having a hearing today?
By certified mail with return receipt requested, and also by publication in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph.
And when did you mail?
July 1st, 2024.
And when did you publish?
July 5th, 2024.
And have you provided the division with your certifications with regard to mailing and your proof of publication?
Yes.
Do you want to add any respondents today?
No.
Do you want to dismiss either of the two folks or company and person that you've listed as respondents?
No.
Okay, if we go to page PDF page 5, we have a plat of the 80-acre Oakwood unit.
Yes.
And then more specifically to why we're here today, if we go to page 12, we've got a map, the same map of the the Oakwood unit, 80-acre unit, but we have put over the top of it what?
The depiction of the 3 South panel and how it will intersect the 80-acre unit.
Okay. And then if we go up just a couple of pages to Exhibit B3, which is PDF page 9, how many acres are at issue for Mr. Stillwell in this panel unit?
1.06.
Which is what percentage of the unit?
1.3250%.
Next page, PDF page 10, and 10 and 11 are what?
Those are the estimated 6.
Which is what percentage of the unit?
1.3250%.
Next page, PDF page 10, and 10 and 11 are what?
Those are the estimated cost based on the number of gob wells being drilled within the 3 South panel and the allocation of the total acreage that unit BB34 contributes to the 3 South panel.
It looks like there are 6 units affected by this 3 South panel.
Yes.
Okay. And what is BB34's percent of the total acreage?
18.8756%.
Okay. And you multiply that presumably times the total cost for 3 South, and that's how you come up with the number you've got at the bottom of the chart on page 10.
Yes.
And then the last thing I think you have in the packet, commencing at page 13, PDF page 13, is a proposed order.
That's correct.
And just to remind folks how that works, the acreage in the panel, once it's isolated, is calculated, and then the acreage of the various owners is applied to that total, and that's how you come up with a division of interest.
Yes.
And I think going back a little bit, just to refer to the division of interest, if you go to Exhibit B, page 8, you've got the farthest right-hand column, division of interest in the 3 South panel, and you've reported that as we come down for Coal Mountain and and ultimately for Mr. Stillwell. So that would be the division of interest in the production from this panel unit, or not
Yes.
panel unit, but panel allocation.
Yes.
See if there's anything else. Last 2 questions. To the extent that Mr. Stillwell doesn't elect to participate or exercise one of his other options, what terms have you offered to other folks for leases in this unit and in other areas?
A $5 per acre lease with a 5-year paid-up term and a 1/8 royalty.
And would you recommend those same terms to the board for people who are deemed to have been leased in the event that the unit is this panel unit is formed, and Mr. Stillwell chooses not to participate?
Yes.
And then lastly, is this a reasonable way to produce coal bed methane from the panel once it's mined?
Yes.
I think that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Questions from members of the board?
Just one question on your 2 plats. I don't think I see the BB34D well. Am I missing it on there, or is it omitted for some reason?
Let me scroll up and see. I would agree with you. I don't think I see that either. We will have the plat revised to depict the location of BB 34D.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have one, Mr. Schwartz, on the AFE.
Yes.
What does this represent? Because it's dated recently and it has drilling of $300,000. So if you're repooling, what's the AFE for?
The AFE represents the average cost per gob well drilled in this area.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? You have anything further, Mr. Schwartz?
I do not, Mr. Chairman.
This board acts on a motion.
Motion to approve pending submittal of a revised plat.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Gilmore, will you poll the board, please?
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff,
Yes.
Mr. Jansen,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
Yes.
Mr. Cochran,
Yes.
and Mr. Prather.
Thank you. Ms. Schwartz, that petition is approved as presented with the one exception.
Thank you, sir.
The next item on the docket is petition from Pocahontas Gas LLC for repooling under the Oakwood Coal Bed Methane Gas Field Rules 2, Unit BB 34. Strike that, I'm calling the same one. Let's move down one. Petition from Pocahontas Gas LLC for pooling under the Oakwood Coal Bed Methane Gas Field 2, Unit Z15, docket numbers VGOB 24-0716-4286. All parties interested, please come forward.
Mark Schwartz and Kelly Berry.
You may proceed, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank you. Kelly, I'm going to remind you, you're still under oath, okay?
Yes,
And since this is this unit has not been pooled before, correct?
it has not.
Consequently, we've got a couple additional questions to ask. Again, who do you work for?
Pocahontas Gas LLC.
And what do you do for them?
I am a senior analyst for division orders and pooling.
Did you participate in the preparation of this petition and the exhibits?
I did.
Okay. And this is a request by Pocahontas Gas, correct?
Yes.
And who is it that Pocahontas Gas, the applicant, is requesting be appointed operator if the petition is approved?
Pocahontas Gas LLC.
And what rules are we seeking to pool under with regard to this application?
The Oakwood Coal Bed Methane Gas Field 2 rules.
And what did you do to notify people? Were you going to have a hearing today?
We mailed a copy of the petition by certified mail with return receipt requested and published notice in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph.
And when did you do that?
Mailing took place June 28th, 2024. And the notice was mailed July 1st, 2024, and the publication took place June 28th, 2024.
And have you provided the division with your certifications with regard to mailing and your proof of publication?
Yes.
If we come down to paragraph 7 of PDF page 1, you've listed the respondents that you're seeking to force pool here, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to add any people to that list of folks you want to force pool?
No.
Do you want to dismiss any of the folks listed at paragraph 7?
No.
Okay. You've got to get to this later again, but at page 2 of the PDF, you've indicated an estimate of allowable costs.
Yes.
And what's that amount?
$74,608.10.
It's a lot less than we're usually seeing, correct?
Yes.
Why is that?
This is for a conversion of a previously drilled VBH hole to produce.
Come down to PDF page 5. we've got a map of the 80-acre Oakwood unit, correct?
Yes.
Or a plat, I should say. At PDF page 8, you have a exhibit B, correct?
Yes.
Listing there of everyone in the unit, correct?
Yes.
Exhibit B3, which pertains to the folks that were forced pooling, that is at page 20, correct?
Yes.
And how many acres are held by folks that were required to force pool?
Not 9.4625 acres.
And that's what percent of the unit?
11.8281%.
And for each of those folks that you don't have either don't have a lease with or haven't acquired an interest, have you stated in the far right-hand column on Exhibit B3 their division of interest in 7 South?
Yes.
Okay. And then at PDF page 21 and 22, we're seeing a similar calculation that we saw in the prior unit with regard to allocable costs, correct?
That's correct.
And here we've got a different number than we saw in the application. Can you explain why that is the case? Actually, it's the same number. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So we've got how many wells proposed here in the exhibit? In exhibit at page 21.
We are converting one VVH well within this panel.
And we have an accompanying AFE with regard to that VVH in what amount?
The total AFE is 204,000.
Right, and then you have done the same percentage allocation based on acreage, correct?
Yes.
And the share of this unit in the allocation of the well cost is what amount?
36.5726%.
And what dollar amount?
$74,608.10.
As we mentioned, the next page is the reconstruction, I guess, probably of the cost of the, well, is it an actual cost or is it a reconstruction of the cost of the VVH?
These are estimated actual costs for conversion of the existing VVH.
Okay, all right. And then if we come to the next page, PDF page 23, what have we got here?
This depicts the intersection of the 7 South panel with unit Z15.
Okay, and then the last thing, which we always see now, is a proposed order, correct?
That's correct.
Is it your opinion that producing from this panel under the Oakwood 2 rules is a reasonable way to produce methane from this unit?
Yes.
And if this order is approved with regard to the folks that are sought to be force pooled, and if you take that order and combine it with the leases and other interests that the applicants acquired, will the correlative rights of all persons having an interest in coal bed methane unit, in your view at least, be protected?
Yes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Questions from members of the board?
One question, the plat shows a well in the unit Z15 297, which I'm assuming is a VVH. Will that well not be converted? Is that well just going to be plugged, or what's the plan for that?
I believe it's being evaluated, but at this point in time, it will remain. I assume that it's shut in. All of these old VVH holes were drilled by Allen Creek when the area was mined, and we're going through the process of reviewing VVH holes that were transferred to Pocahontas Gas to determine if production is viable.
Okay, so we're not doing anything to pool that well today. That well's not
No.
part of this application.
No, it's not.
The well the well you've got the AFE in is for the unit north of this unit, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, have we already done that unit also? Is that
Yes,
unit
we
been
did
bought?
that one. Yes, we did that one last month.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Any other questions? Anything further, Mr. Schwartz?
No, Mr. Chairman.
This board acts on the motion.
Motion to approve.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Ms. Gilmore, will you poll the board, please?
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff,
Yes.
Mr. Jensen,
Yes.
Ms. Gibson,
Yes.
Mr. Cochran,
Yes.
and Mr. Prather.
Mr. Prather?
Please go.
Okay, the petition is approved as presented. Mr. Schwartz, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The board will receive an update from the division activities of staff. This group.
Nothing to do with updates. Just thank everybody. Welcome back.
Thank you. The letter that Butch Lambert put out on allowing the gas companies to operate on the coal company's permit. When was that done? But it gives them the option. It does not require, right?
Is something sent to the board or?
Within last month's packet, docket 4281.
Yeah, okay, that's a good place to go.
It was sent out on May the 20th, 2020.
May 20th, 2020.
Yes, 2020.
Is it at the bottom?
What page? It's way, must be way down here.
I think I have access to that. That's probably on my other computer.
So that was only regarding Q-Rock's operation, correct? It wasn't a blanket to any mining operation.
That's what I was trying to see.
Yeah, here's the letter on page 81.
81 from the June packet.
Yeah, I think I usually discard these every month once I do.
You can click on that link.
Well, the problem is I have another computer that I get all of my mail and I transferred to this smaller one to bring with me to the meeting. So I don't have that email. Oh, wait a minute, I may have. Sorry to be a problem. This is my traveling computer, so I don't keep a lot of email.
I think there's some confusion. So what I would like to see, or if it's up to the board, a board policy that if you're going to use the coal company's permit, we need a letter from the coal company acknowledging that commitment. Rather than let the gas companies just come in and say, we're going to use the coal company's permit to operate on.
Mr. Chairman, that would be part of our under the permit. So when they apply to us for a permit,
So you require that now?
they would have to get permission from the coal company. If they're going to do that, the coal company would be noticed. They would have the right to object.
Okay, so that step's already in place?
Yes. In this case, Mr. Chairman, this area where this referenced E-Rock
Right,
Energy,
right.
the salt drain, was actually released by the mining, by the Department of
By land reclamation.
It's been 5 years.
Seven permit with my land reclamation.
Okay,
With coal company.
all right,
So it's not under permit by the coal company.
okay,
So I think when a gas company goes in and permits a well that's crossing or is on an existing mine permit, they permit the same area that they're going to use again unless the coal company says they don't have to, right? Is that, or do you go ahead and require
We
it?
go ahead and.
They're permitting their area separate. So there's an overlap between the two permitting entities. They both are permitted.
The area in question has to be permitted under our permit.
okay. All right, that cleared that up. Anything else from board members?
I have one more item to mention that similar to last month, there's an account out there for Intervest docket 4194. It is well BCI -539510. There's $75.60 in the account. The permit has expired, and the money that was placed in the account was for schooling bonus payments. And Intervest has sent in a letter requesting that we refund them back that money and close the account.
Everyone involved's been paid up to date.
There was no, I mean, it was.
Well, it was never drilled.
Well, it was never drilled.
And the permit is now expired.
So the order expires with the permit, correct?
So do we have a motion to refund that money back to the gas company?
Yeah, I'll move that the money be refunded and the account be closed.
Motion, we have a second.
Second that.
Ms. Gilmore, will you poll the board, please?
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Rattler?
Yes.
Mr. Jansen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Cochran?
Yes.
Mr. Prather?
I think he's dropped off. That is, that's been approved, Ms. Gilmore, so you can make that happen. Approval of the June 24 minutes. Everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes. Need a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Motion for approval, Mr. Chairman.
We have a second.
Second.
And let's do a voice vote. All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed? It's 10:39 and we are adjourned.